So today we are going to learn about the intermediate value theorem. According to the intermediate value theorem, if the function is continuous on a closed interval a and b, and k is any number between f of a and f of b, it means the value of y and the y1 and the value of y2, then there will at least one number C in between the A and B such that f of C equals to K. So let's take an example. Look at the graph. If there is a graph and you want to read the area between the A and the B, then of course on the A, if we go up, there is a value of y, name it as f of A. And on the B, there will be a y value, name it as f of B. Now between the f of a and f of b, there will be a k value that if you read that k value and see what is x between them, that is name it as c. It means if you want to read any y value and go backward to see what is the x value of that one, then you will come to know that this c value lies between the intervals of a and b, which means that if there is a value which lies between f of a and f of b, then 100% that k value's x value will lie between the interval a and b. So understand how to do these or how to apply the intermediate value theorem algebraically. So let's take an example according to which what you have to do, verify that the IVT applies to the indicated interval and find the value of C guaranteed by the theorem. So the question is f of x equals to x squared plus x minus 1. So here it is lying between a closed interval 0 and 5. So let's suppose 0 is the a value and 5 is the b value. So what you have to do, and there will be a value between f of a and f of b. That value is equals to 11. That means f of c is equals to 11. Now the first thing is understand what is the domain of this function. So the domain of this function, this is the polynomial function. So the domain of this function is all real numbers. It means that the function is continuous. So the first thing, to verify the IVT, it is very important that the function should be continuous in the closed interval, which you found that the function is continuous. Function is continuous. Now after that, what you do, find out the y value at A and also find out the y value at point B. So what you have to do, the A is 0, so find out f of 0. The B is 5, so find out f of 5. From where I got this 0 and 5? From the question that is given in the terms of closed interval. Now f of 0, it means put the 0 value in the question. So you will write, in place of x, you will write 0 everywhere. So 0 is square plus 0 minus 1. The answer will be minus 1. So f of 0 equals to negative 1 equals. Now 5. Substitute 5 as x. So 5 is square plus 5 minus 1 will give you 25 plus 5, 30. 30 minus 1 gives you 9. So you see the first y value is negative 1 and the second y value is 29. And if you want to see f of c is 11, that lies between the f of a and f of b. Now you have to say that if 11 is lying between fa and fb, then the c value you have to find, which should lie between 0 and 5. So let's suppose what is f of c equals to. F of c, now wherever you have x, you just replace x by c. So c square plus c minus 1. Now what is f of c equals to? That is equals to 11. Now you can see c square plus c minus 1 is a quadratic equation. In order to solve the quadratic equation, set the equation equals to 0. So you will get c squared plus c minus 1 minus 11 equals to 0. So simplify it, c squared plus c minus 12 equals to 0. So in order to find the value of c from a quadratic equation, you have to factor it. So what are the factors of this equation? That will be c plus 4 and c minus 3 equals to 0. Now if you don't know how to factor it, then watch my previous videos where I have explained in brief that how to factor the quadratic equations. Now one by one find the value of c. One by one each factor set it equals to 0. So c plus 4 equals 0, c minus 3 equals to 0. So bring the 4 on other side, so c equals to negative 4, and bring the 3 on negative 3 on other side, so you will get c equals to 3. So one value of c is 3 and one value of c is negative 4. Now check which value is lying between the values of a and b. So that is c equals to 3. So that is your answer. Now how to write it? That c should be between a and b, and the value of c is 3, value of b is 5, and value of a is 0. So yes, verified. So you have proved that the IVT applies on this equation. Let's solve this equation. In this equation, they are saying that f of x equals to x squared plus x divided by x minus 1. So the first thing is you have to take the domain in order to confirm whether the function is continuous in the closed interval or not. So since it is a rational function, so you will write x minus 1 not equals to 0. Solve for x and you will get x not equals to 1. So what is the domain? The domain is all real numbers except 1. So you can see that the 1 is not lying in the closed interval. So you can say that the function is continuous in closed interval. So you have to write function is continuous in closed interval. So the first condition is fulfilled. Now check the second condition. It means you have to find out the f of a, the y value at the a, and the y value at the b. So your a is 5 over 2. A is 5 over 2. So wherever you have x, you can replace it by 5 over 2 whole square plus 5 over 2 divided by 5 over 2 minus 1. What I am doing, I am just replacing the x by 5 over 5, replacing the 5 over 2 by x in the question. You will get write it in the calculator, and here you will get 5.8. Now after this, f of b, find it out, and f of b is 4. So f of 4 equals to, replace 4 by x, so it will be 4 square plus 4 divided by 4 minus 1, you will get 6.6. So you can see that f of c is given as 6. It means if this f of c is lying between f of a and f of b, then 100% c will lie between 2.5 and 4. So f of c is 6. Okay. Now try to solve it. It means replace c by each and every x. So you will get c square plus c divided by c minus 1. And this whole equation f of c equals to 6. So you will write here 6. Now since it is a rational function and which is equals to 6, in order to solve it, use the method of cross multiplication. So anything multiplied by 1 gives you same, c squared plus c equals to multiply 6 by the whole equation that is written in the denominator on the left hand side, c minus 1. Now solve the equation. So 6 times c will gives you 6c, and 6 times 1 will gives you minus 6. Now bring all the equation. Now bring everything on one side. That means c squared plus c. Bring the 6c on other side. It will gives you minus 6c, and after that bring the negative 6 on other side. It will gives you 6 equals to 0. So you will get c square. You will get c square. C minus 6c. It will gives you minus 5. Minus 5c, and plus 6 and factor them. So once you will factor them, you will get x minus 3 and x minus 2, which is all equals to 0. Now x minus 3 equals to 0 and x minus 2 equals to 0. We are making the factors, setting the factors equals to 0 in order to determine our x value. So rather than writing x, I should write actually here the c value, because I am finding the c value. So here we will get c equals to, bring the negative 3 on other side, it will gives you 3, and bring this negative 2 on other side, it will gives you 2. Now check which c values lie between 2.5 and 4. So yes, c equals to 3 is the correct answer. So in the end, you will write c in the middle, a on the left hand side, b on the right hand side, because c is in between a and b, and c is 3, whereas a is 2.5 and b is 4. So here now you have verified the IVT, and that's all for today.